Well, folks, the end of the school year is upon us, and there are a lot of things we need to do to prepare for summer and anticipate the school year starting again in the fall. One of the things that we need to keep in mind is your workstations will most likely be imaged over the summer, which means anything you have saved on your workstation, your desktop, or anything on the local C drive will be totally wiped out and gone. You'll lose it. Bye-bye. This has happened to some of us. And they're really sad stories. People lose hundreds of documents, hours of work. We don't want that to happen. So, what we're going to do is spend a few minutes talking about your options and how you back that stuff up. The first option, obviously, is to use your P drive. And we all know how to access our P drive. The P drive is a good option. It's always there, it's backed up regularly, so if anything were to happen to some of your files, chances are Bob Terry can go back and recover from one of the backups, a file that you've lost or whatever's happened to it. Unfortunately, the P drive has a couple of drawbacks. The first being it has a limited amount of space. We like to keep it under 2 gigabytes. Now some people have gone well beyond that, and we're trying to rectify that situation, because we got to have even playing field here for everybody. It's not fair that somebody stores 24 gigabytes of information and then all of a sudden somebody else can't even save a Word document because the storage space is full because of that 1 or 2 people. So we have a limited amount of space on the P drive in which to back up our files. For most of us, it's not a problem. Word documents, PowerPoints, Excel spreadsheets, those things don't take up a great deal of space. So we could probably move them to the P drive. Another option is to back them up on a CD. Now a CD also has a limited amount of space. In fact, there's less space on a CD than on your P drive. This CD can store approximately 700 megabytes of information. The advantage to a CD is it's rather permanent. You burn it and your stuff is there. The disadvantages are they scratch easily, they warp if they're exposed in direct sunlight or extreme heat, and you cannot modify the files that are burned to the CD without first copying those files back to something like your desktop or a hard drive so that you can write changes to the files and edit those files. But a CD is an option if you want to back stuff up on the CD. The next option is a DVD. Now a DVD will store approximately the information of almost 6.5 CDs worth of information. They have the same limitations, however, as a CD. First of all, you can't edit files that are stored on a DVD. You can't change them. And it's susceptible to the same damage, scratches, and warping that a CD is susceptible to as well. Now, one of the things you do have to keep in mind is the lifespan of a DVD and a CD is not forever. A CD typically will last between 3 and 5 years before the material starts to deteriorate and you could start to lose files. And a DVD will last a little bit longer, but still, don't plan on it lasting forever. Another option is a flash drive. Now flash drives have come down in price quite a bit in recent years. You can get flash drives all the way up to, I think I've seen 32 gigabyte flash drives. You can get reasonable sized flash drives like this 2 gig flash drive. Probably costs about, I've got it here, about $6 at Best Buy. You can get 8 gig flash drives for $13 approximately, and you can get 16 gigabytes for $21. And of course, you can get more storage in a flash drive, but the price jumps quite a bit once you go beyond 16 gigabytes. And you really don't need anything much larger than that anyway, unless you've got a lot of YouTube videos that you've saved or that type of thing. So that's another option. A fifth option is an external drive, and these are relatively, they're kind of expensive compared to the other options. You can get about 320 gigabytes, which would be about 300 CDs for about 50 bucks, and prices go up from there. The nice thing about an external hard drive is you can plug this into your computer, open files directly from here, modify them, edit them, and then save them back to this hard drive. It's a wonderful option if you want to have something that you can drag back and forth between home and school so that you can work from home if you chose to. The flash drive is the same way. You can open files directly from the flash drive, write changes to those files, modify those files, whatever you'd like to do. The drawback of an external hard drive is hard drives fail, especially an external hard drive that you're throwing in a bag and moving around. Chances are eventually you're going to have a hard drive failure. One of the things that I should caution you about is if you do go with this option, never ever pick the hard drive up and move it around while it's running, plugged into the computer, because it will lock up and it will be dead. So leave it flat while you're using it, and then eject it and unplug it from the computer before you move it. Make sure that it stops spinning. There are a couple of other options that you have available to you. You have Google Docs. You can upload files to Google Docs. That has the benefit of also giving you access to your files no matter where you are. You don't have to remember your flash drive. You don't have to remember your hard drive. You just log into a computer and log into your account. Another option is Dropbox. That's also free, up to 2 gigabytes worth of space, and you can put a Dropbox on any computer that you work with, so no matter what computer you log into, you can have access to your files that are placed in your Dropbox. You can also share Dropbox folders and files with other people if you want to. Most internet providers also offer free internet storage. Like I know Comcast and SBC both will offer a certain amount of free online storage space. So if you have an internet provider at home, you might want to check to see what's available through them. So those are your options. Next, we're going to talk about actually performing the backup. Before we back our files up, we need to make sure that we have the files that we want to back up organized. If you look at this desktop, it's kind of a mess. Now, I've seen people whose desktops look a lot more cluttered than this one, and I've also seen people who keep their desktops very neat and organized. One of the things that we recommend that you do, and this is true with your desktop or your P drive, is to sort your files into folders. Now there are a lot of different ways that you can do that. You can do it by school year, you can do it by subject. If you teach more than one subject, you can do it by class, or you can do it by file type, or a combination of those things. So I've got a lot of files on my desktop, some Excel files, some Word documents, some text documents, a video. So I'm going to create a folder by right-clicking on my desktop. I'm going to select New and New Folder. I'm going to name that folder Backup and the year 2011. That's going to be where I'm going to put all of my files that I want to back up, either on my P drive, my hard drive, CD, DVD, whatever backup choice I've made. Now I'll open that folder, and I'm going to create yet another folder. This is called a nested folder, and I'm going to call that folder Word Docs. And I'm going to locate all of my Word documents that I have. So next, I'm going to locate all of the Word documents on my desktop that I know I want to back up. And I'm going to click the first one, and then hold down the Control key and click on the additional Word documents that I wish to back up. And I'm going to then, not holding the key, click on any one of those that I've selected and drag them and drop them right on that folder. Now what's happened is those documents have been moved into this folder. So I'm going to create another folder, new folder, and I'll call that videos. I have one very important video, Bigfoot sighting here, that I want to save. So I'll click that and drag that into that folder. If I have more than one video, I'll control click on all the videos and then drag and drop them into that folder. Finally, let's see, next we'll create a text folder because I have some text documents here, and I'm going to control click on all these text documents and drag those into that folder. And I've got some pictures, so I'll create a folder with some for pictures and my Excel files, and if I've got some music, I'll put everything in the various folders. Now my desktop is starting to look a lot more organized. I don't have all those files scattered everywhere. That's the first step in preparing to do your backup. Locate the files that you want to keep and put them in a folder. Now you don't have to be as organized as this, or perhaps your organization is set up differently. Doesn't matter. You can just drag everything into the folder just so that you just have this long list and collection of things in that folder without using the subfolders if you want to. But it's a little bit easier to find what you need when you have a little bit more organization. Next, I'm going to talk about how to use each of the various tools that we've talked about, the CD, the DVD, the flash drive, the hard drive, to show you the steps involved in actually performing the backup.